The one piece of good news for Magnus Carlsen is all 3 games have been won by the black pieces in this match. And guess what? He gets black.
Yeah. And he starts with knight f3. James, that's a solid start when you need a draw to win the match.
Of course, you need to go King's Indian here, big fella. Something very strange and for some change, okay? You're going to have to make it happen here, or you're going, I mean, you're getting, not eliminated, but you get to the loser's bracket here. And it's going to be tough to see Magnus in the loser's bracket. So it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
It's harsh, right? G6, we got Bishop G2, Bishop G7. Come on, let's see it. D4, D6, 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 Magnus, D6.
He's willing him. James is willing Magnus to go d6,
Okay,
so it might happen.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is. KID. It's a dub. It's a dub. It's a win. We good. It's a win.
Yeah, he could not play symmetrical chess. He could no longer just copy his opponent's moves. That would have just fizzled out towards boring equality, really sterile positions. Now it's really flexible. All the pieces on the board, James. You're happy with this one. But a bit of an odd one, I've got to say, this last queen move from Artemiev.
What is that? David, queen D3?
Don't ask me. Robert?
Hey, that was a good rhyme there, but I don't want to be the one to answer the question. It doesn't really make so much sense, but I think he's just waiting for Magnus to strike in the center. And when he does, with E5 or C5, some kind of pawn break, he'll slide his rook to D1. So I just think that Artemiev does not want to commit his pawns forward, because as soon as you push your pawns forward, you may create some weak squares that you can't deal with so well. So I think Artemiev, he's just keeping everything tame for the time being, but he kind of has to do something at some point. I was about to ask, if you were Fedoseev, would you have spent some time before resigning just to compose yourself, giving you a little bit more of a break?
Yeah.
I guess it's not going to start until these games are done anyway, but I just feel like, you know, for Fedoseev, he needs to get that out of his head somehow, like throw that game out the window and never look at it again.
But the most important point is to dominate that black knight. That black knight on H6 is going to take an age to get back in the game. In the meantime, Vladislav will have asserted domination, will have got all of his pieces to dream squares. Magnus desperately trying to ask questions, try to open up lines for his pieces, but there must be a way here. It feels like white has so much space. There must be a way to shut things down, block in black's pieces even further.
Whoa.
Now F5.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, James, you said it before I could. He's going for this skewer here, the queen and rook in the same line. But I still believe this is what Magnus wants. He may lose some material. The eval bar saying that Artemiev is better, and he is, objectively.
Right.
But practically speaking, this does give Magnus more chance to win, as I said before, even if it means he might lose the game.
Yeah, total mess. I guess now you do have options. You could consider, for example, taking this pawn, even if you move your queen out the way. I'm not sure where. Then, yes, white can win material, but the white king is slightly vulnerable long term, sorry. So, yeah, still a mess, but Fedoseev and Artemiev kind of experiencing different fortunes here. Artemiev, yeah, he's done everything right. He's done everything that Fedoseev didn't do. He's kept control when necessary. And, okay, pawn takes pawn. I'm expecting that to be, I was going to say recaptured. Maybe you could move the white queen as well. I don't know if you want to get carried away, capture the black queen right now. It's got to be calculation over everything, as James says, and that's the most forcing move, I guess. Right. It's the most linear variation that you can try and work out.
This is messy. The position we had a few seconds on the clock, it was an end game. The moves were a bit simpler. Right. Here, this remains complicated, and that's when mistakes happen.
Wow, okay. He's moved his queen, Artemiev. He did get her out the way of that attack. The black queen was threatened as well. She did scoot out the way as well. But suddenly, you can go and grab the black rook, but it does come at the cost of your beautiful dark-squared bishop with white. I do fear on the dark squares that long-term Magnus will get some counterplay, will have some tricks. The black dark square bishop doesn't look great right now, but imagine it coming to life. Imagine the black dark square bishop parked on a square like e5 in the center. Magnus will surely try and keep the queens on if possible. There are some tricks there that he has to navigate. Can he keep the queens on?
He might
Maybe
take on
that's the big
h3
question.
first, though. I mean, can you take on h3, try to open a g-file with a smile? Like, whoo-wee. You know, it could be possible. Take on h3, and then take on g2. We're about to see.
Uh-oh, I think there's a big problem with it, though.
What is
the
it?
bishop on b8 still lives. So it's a punch, rook a7.
Wow.
Right, that bishop actually plays a part
gross.
in the game. You
Look
think,
at
oh,
that.
I'm going
That's
to capture it next
crazy.
move. But if you capture it, you get checkmate along the 7th rank. So I was looking at that, too. I was like, well, can I throw in g takes h3, an intermediate move? The answer is not in this position.
And Magnus takes the right decision in this one to trade the queens, keeps the bar where it is, but it looks like Artemiev's the one with the advantage. There is no attack now. He has the extra exchange. There are weaknesses on the queen side. If anyone's winning this, it's got to be white.
Yes, Tanya. I don't know what else to add. It looks pretty safe right now. If the queens were still on the board, the reason Magnus could have been optimistic was because the white king is really, really open. But without the queens, there's no way to ever attack it. And at the right moment on tap is that rook exchange. The white rook can land on a8, trade off the black rook, no danger. So they do say you sometimes slip up when you're close to that result, when you can see the finishing line.
Right.
What can Magnus try? If Magnus's dark squared bishop does get back into the game, maybe, but there we go. Rooks are off the board.
Oh, wow.
And Magnus just has to...
Don't take the b6 pawn. That's the only trick in the position. Bishop c5 check would be an absolute disaster. He takes the other pawn.
Yeah, he takes the other pawn, and whoops, sorry, I was just looking at the other game there. But if we go back to Magnus's game, we do see, there's no danger. Again, just to show Tanya's trick, don't take it now either, because there is a nasty fork in the position, a double attack, hitting the king, hitting the rook, and Magnus would suddenly get to Armageddon, but that's never going to happen. The white rook has plenty of safe squares, for example, f4. And luckily, the white king is very safe in the corner because the white bishop protects the long diagonal. No checks, no hope. White should be safe. 4 seconds.
No hope lives, except the clock. 6 now, and the b4 pawn falls. Is this over?
Oh, the black knight is coming in. It should be a draw, of course. White could even just give up a piece as long as you remove all of black's pawns from the board. But I'm really worried about the clock situation, actually. Nerves, I mean, they have to be kicking in at some point. And now the black knight can come in with a check. Ooh, Vladislav playing with fire.
If Magnus pulls this one off, I mean, that'll be nothing short of a miracle. But we've seen him do that.
Needs to buy a lottery ticket if he wins this position.
Wow.
Okay, he's going to throw in a knight check.
3 seconds, 2 on the clock.
G3.
Okay, king g3. Don't take that h3 pawn. All the discovered checks with the knight landing on f2.
Oh, but what, that second H pawn, that could be dangerous. Like H5, H4 check, and... Oh my goodness!
Oh, what happened?
H2?
He's coming.
He just...
Bishop
but he goes
e4?
back.
Bishop f5, and he takes the bishop.
Oh my goodness!
You gotta be kidding me.
Magnus is
You gotta be
back.
kidding me. Look at Artemiev's
this.
face.
Look at
the face.
Magnus's face.
Look
You
at-
can't
oh
believe
my
it.
He can't believe it. Can anyone
my
believe
He
this?
won.
Oh my God!
What?
And Artemiev just lost.
He need to buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
He need to buy that
fell.
lottery ticket, David.
He resigned.
We
You
said
gotta be kidding me.
Oh,
Nerves.
what just happened?
You have to be kidding me, bro.
And there we see Magnus Carlsen. He can't believe what just happened. Well, no one can. This was all but over, and now Magnus lives another day. We've seen him do this over and over again. And Artemiev now, not only does he need to deal with this loss, he needs to shift his mindset, his momentum, everything. It's Armageddon coming up, and I have to say that's Magnus' advantage now.